Hello everyone out there. I gotta do a video. This is the only photo I have. I don't have a computer to download this stuff. And I got photos on my phone, but this is the only photo that I have that I can do a recording of to upload onto YouTube. But I wanted to get this out first thing. You can clearly see that little angel above my head in the mirror blowing a trumpet. And then at the end of that trumpet, you notice how there's a white horse? You can clearly see it. But that was a selfie photo that I took in 1977. And I didn't see this picture until 2014. And I had a lot of stuff happening around me ever since then. But, it's really strange is I heard this is like the 5th generation coming up with this other planet that's coming into our solar system. I don't understand this. But like when this photo came into my life, it seemed like a lot of other things came with it. I had a lot of demonic type people trying to get me to work with them. Very well-to-do people. And one of them was even my old football coach, Jack Myers, from 7th and 8th grade. Offered me a job at the Tampa Bay Stadium in 2014. I denied it. But if you look at that little angel above my head, look at where the heart would be. You could see it's a little lighter. And that black stuff being poured over my head, like, I was in a gym working out. That was the same year, 2014, where an ambulance came up behind the car that was in front of the window I was at. Down the street at the light, a crossing guard, a retired police officer, was hit by somebody fleeing in a car and killed. But I didn't see it because, like I said, I was in the gym running on a treadmill, and I was trying to get in shape. And I didn't look anything like I did in that photo. But, I was 17 years old there. I'm 55 now. But anyhow, I was in there just trying to exercise, and then I didn't even notice the car backed up by the window where I was at because, like I said, I'd been on the treadmill a while and I was tired, just struggling to stay on it. And when that ambulance came up, it got my attention. And so I looked down at the time that I'd been on my machine, and it said 44 minutes and 44 seconds. And then when that ambulance went around that car, he had to go around traffic. I looked at the tag on that car, and it said 44-TBU. And I'm thinking, wow, that was weird, to see 44 minutes and 44 seconds, and then to see a car tag that said TBU, 44 TBU. Now, this is a Florida tag. You can ask that guy with that 44 TBU in Florida where he was at that day that accident happened, and he'll tell you he was right there, But, this is God's timing. This is the way God works. Just like this photo, I took it in 1977. I was 17 years old, and I didn't see it until 2014. The numbers are very important, because God works with numbers. Sevens. He uses sevens. He's 40 years in the desert. Joseph, when he became governor of all of Egypt, because he predicted the Pharaoh's dream, 7 years of plenty and 7 years of famine. A lot of things are happening today. There's a lot of people that don't believe. Let me tell you, when the Twin Towers went down in 2001, I was a painting contractor. My business suffered big time. I seen it getting worse year after year. And a lot of people tell me, just say what everybody else is saying. To give them what they're looking for. They don't want to pay for a good job, give them a shitty job. Stuff like that. And I said, no, I ain't going to do that, I told everybody the truth. but nobody would believe it. And then when the housing market crashed in 2008, remember, when the Twin Towers went down, Bush read Psalms 23. And then the housing market, when that crashed in 2008, Obama doubled what Bush read, Psalms 46. 23 and 23 is 46. And then 7 years passed again behind Obama. And right in September of 2015, 14 years later, after the Twin Towers were knocked down, that's when the Pope showed up in his own name to Washington, D.C., to a house that was divided. I also doubled what Obama read. 46 and 46 is Psalms 92. And if you read Revelations 18, it clearly says to double their portion 3 times. And, you'll have a better idea if you just take the time to do that. This is all very real. But when I seen that 44 minutes and 44 seconds and then that car tag 44 to be you see that black stuff like being poured on my head right there? I believe that's where the Lord blessed me, because in the end times, what happens is, somebody's got to be rejected, and that's me. Everybody's going with everything, the lies. Everybody believes the lies. And they don't believe the truth anymore. So therefore, my rewards are going to be in heaven. I'm doing what I'm supposed to do. All these pieces of paper you see right here, I took and I was going to churches handing that stuff out, trying to warn people. And I did the best I could do for the circumstances, I'm living in my pickup truck today. I've literally had nobody offer to help me get the word out. Nothing, man. Nothing. People wanted to write a book about my life when I broke up that drug deal and all that. And I used to be a fisherman, too, in the South Pacific for yellowfin when I was younger. But I've got a lot of stories in my life that I could probably, they wanted to write a book about me, but They didn't want me to talk about Jesus Christ, and my life is all based around Jesus Christ. Everything in my life, right down to where I was fishing. There's stories that you'd be surprised. But anyhow, the end time's here, man. It's gonna happen anytime. Last night, I had a dream about a big thick vine, man, where Jesus said, "I'm the vine, and my sheep know my voice. And they'll come to me." And then he said some other people, he goes, "You are not my sheep, therefore you won't hear it." And he also said his brothers, his sisters, his mother, they all do the will of his Father. Remember, these bodies we're in, we're hosting in these bodies right now. We are of the Spirit, and we're either of Jesus Christ or we're of the devil. Okay? So try to remember this, man. When you get a little disappointed because people don't want to believe and they don't want to, come into the light, you can't save these people. Not everybody, you can't, And all these signs, the Lord, look at these signs he's put out there. There's a lot of unbelievable signs, man, and people are just totally ignoring them. And there's a lot of people on YouTube making this stuff like it's a big joke. Man, this is not a joke. You got that one guy, Serious or whatever. Are you serious? Are you serious? Get a cup of coffee. Come on, let's sit back and have a cup of coffee. And he acts like he's a minister too. And every time he gets on there, it's what he's always saying. Are you serious? You know what? This is not a joke. And it sounds to me like he wants to get recognition for something and keep something, There's a lot of wolves out there, people. This is no joke. It's no laughing matter. We need to have our hearts into Jesus Christ, be seeking his coming, because we're going to be out of here pretty soon. That dream I had last night, that vision, it was a big, thick vine, man. And I was flying up around it and stuff, and I landed. The lake that it was by was totally empty, dry. It wasn't bone dry. There wasn't no water in it. It looked a little muddy, damp like. That's about it. But there was no water in it. But there's water dripping off the vine and off the fruits and vegetables that were attached to that vine. And I believe that's those that are going to the wedding. And everything I looked at, it didn't look like it was just growing. It looked like it was finished. It looked like it was ready to be harvested. And I believe that's why that trumpet is above my head. To tell people, I've been warning people. And this little piece of paperwork you see right here, man, I've had a lot of that stuff printed up. And I had it out and made it up in color. My sister wrote on there in the 70s. But no, this was in 1977. I remember the day. I even got another picture with that same clothing on, but I put a shirt on. It was in 1977. It was a whole family portrait picture. But that's my sister Hope right there. She's the one that sent me the photo. And then that's me when I was 8 years old. Now, if you look at those two plates there, they almost look like planets. And I believe when another planet lines up with our solar system, our planet here, that's when we're going to be going. And I think it's happening anytime soon. And I had a little peace sign on my neck in this photo here. I was 8 years old. But I believe when we're taken, when we go, the peace is going to go with us. There won't be no peace here on earth. What they've been seeing is merely signs. Only signs. And it's at hand, people. Everybody's heard of the term hell on earth. But trust me, nobody knows what that's going to be like until it really happens. But everybody's heard of that term. I know you have. But that's what's about to come. You can't plan stuff like this, man. I was 17 years old in this photo. I'm 55 today. You see the white horse at the end of that thing? The bathtub above that, where you got to keep yourself clean. See, there's more horses right there on that paneling board. Those 3 ducks. And that one coming down. This is it. It was something when I got that. I was surprised. But I've had a lot of stuff happening in my life ever since then. A lot of people think you're blessed if you got a big, fine home, lots of money and all that stuff, that God's blessed you. No, you better redefine that. The church has been tickling your ears. God didn't intend people to do this, man. We're passing through this world. People were supposed to be trying to be better with one another, not the way we're living today. This homosexual lifestyle, that's an abomination to God. But this homosexual lifestyle, that's just the frosting on the cake. We had adultery, all that. Sin is sin to God, okay? So there's a lot more sin. We wouldn't have this homosexual lifestyle if we didn't have so much other bad stuff going on. And I know a lot of the women, you've heard of that Jezebel spirit. Look at the way women are dressing today. Tight clothing, dyeing their hair, lots of makeup. That's not what we're supposed to be doing. And then sticking your children in front of television sets, thinking, oh man, they like that, it keeps them busy. Well, you're